Kentucky, in this hour of crisis, think calmly, act wisely, save the Union.
No!
Have none of this treason. Hold fast to one country, now and forever, indivisible. Support Lincoln and the federal government.
Dillon is right. Stick by the Union.
No! We want Jeff Davis. Go with the South.
That's all the black Republican talk we want. And if John Dillon don't like the way we folks think, let him go back to Massachusetts where he came from.
And take his horses with him.
Let no Yankee abolitionist come down here and tell us folks how to act, even if he does pretend to be one of us.
I am one of you. I've lived here for 20 years. This is my home. Everything I've got and love is here, but you're wrong, men. You're wrong.
Go on, back where you belong. It's about time we heard from somebody who was born and raised in Kentucky. Yonder's that Goodwin. Let's see what he's got to say.
Goodwin, let's hear from Goodwin.
Friends, neighbors, I try to beat John Dillon's horses. He tries to beat mine. But that has nothing to do with this question. It's far bigger than racing.
Life it is.
Kentucky wants peace, but it must be peace with honor.
Right.
We seek no quarrel with anyone. But let it be said at once that by heritage, by custom, by every social and economic consideration, we are bound to the Confederacy. If Abraham Lincoln and his abolitionist advisors try to coerce the southern states with the bayonet, then Kentucky can have but one answer: secession.
No, that's suicide. It will destroy the South.
Better destruction than northern tyranny.
Right! That's giving it to him, Thad.
Go on back to your Yankee friends, Dillon.
Secede! Secede!
You wait here, boys.
Good day, sir.
Good day. Your servant, ma'am.
Mr. Dillon.
I'm sorry for this intrusion, but this will explain my business.
Oh, Thaddeus, not our horses.
Of course, Goodwin, if you're prepared to take an oath of allegiance,
To a government of horse thieves?
then I have no choice in the matter.
Forward, ho! Go into the house, please.
Father, what are they going to do to our horses?
Nothing. You stay with your mother.
Mother, don't let them do to our horses.
Peter, be quiet. Please be careful.
You darkies, bring those horses outside. Sergeant, round up every horse in the place except the foal.
Yes, sir.
Some of you men help him.
The first set of fours will follow me. The rest of the platoon will go to the back barn.
Move right about. Stella, move.
Hurry it up, you men.
Put those horses back. Dillon, tell your men to keep their hands off my horses and to get out of here.
This is war, Goodwin. You asked for it.
But Kentucky is a neutral state. We still have courts to protect a man's property. Lincoln isn't fool enough to
I'm not here to discuss what Mr. Lincoln would do. I'm a soldier, acting under military
But
orders.
as a horseman yourself, man, surely you wouldn't take my thoroughbreds? Look at them. Imagine those creatures in battle. Why, it'd be kinder to shoot them right here and now.
I have no choice in the matter, Goodwin.
Maybe they've come to buy our horses. Father, sell our horses to Yankees?
Shh, boys.
Now, you can't do this, Dillon. Look, there's Grenadier. He took the Lexington Plate in the Paducah Cup 2 years hand running. You remember? And Torchbearer. He can beat anybody's horse at 2 miles. And Golden Chimes. Well, he's the best colt I ever raised. He worked 1 mile in 40. No. No, you can't do it. Put that colt back. Get out of here, by Helena.
Put up that gun, Goodwin. Goodwin. Here, you. Get up in the house. Tell them to get a doctor. Some water, brandy, quickly. Never mind now. Carol, Johnson, take him up to the house. Stop that noise. Get those horses out of here quickly. Careful, you idiot! Watch what you're doing. It's the finest horse in Kentucky. All right, careful with the men. They're high-strung. Forward, ho!
They killed my father! They killed my father! Mother! Mother! Dad! They're taking Dark Bear! I couldn't dare! They got Golden Chimes! They got them all! Get dirty Yankees! You dirty Yankees! You dirty Yankees! I hate you! You old dud! The dirty Yankees! Leave our horses alone! Dark Bear! Golden Chimes! Come back! Come back! Bring back our horses! Bring back our horses! The foals haven't any mothers. They haven't had any supper. Father would want us to feed them, wouldn't he?
Yes, darling. He would. that all?
Yes, ma'am. They all been bad.
Where's Peter?
Over yonder, ma'am.
Time to go to bed?
"75 years have passed since that tragic day. Kentuckians, quickly forgetting the passion of war, resumed their love, almost worship, of the thoroughbred in the bluegrass lands where he is king. Once again, training tracks echoed to the drumming hoofbeats of colts and fillies destined to make their mark in the annals of racing. War had ravished the fortunes of the South, but what money they had, Kentuckians gave freely and unselfishly, that the tradition of the thoroughbred would not die. Steadily through all these years, they've given their hearts and minds to the improvement of the American racehorse. Today, he stands without a peer in breathtaking beauty and dazzling flight of speed, a tribute to the devotion of generations of Kentuckians who have made their state the fountainhead for the blood that flows so staunchly in the veins of champions of the past, of the present, and of the years to come. Here are a few of them, all Kentucky bred. Gallant Fox by Sir Galahad III. He won more than $300,000. And now we see Omaha, son of Gallant Fox. Among other great stakes, he won the Kentucky Derby. And here's Hardtack, young sire by Man o' War. You may have heard of one of his sons, Seabiscuit. And now we have Chance Play by Fair Play. There's a statue of his daddy down in the bluegrass. You have to be good to have a statue of you erected in Kentucky. Fair Play was all of that. He sired, among others, Man o' War. And there he is, the champion of champions, greatest racehorse of all time and all countries, Man o' War.
Mr. Peter! Mr. Peter! Mr. Peter! Mr. Peter!
Well, what do you want?
They're calling for you down at the barn.
Don't yell so, I hear you.
I'm not yelling, I'm just telling you.
Can't stand people always yelling.
What's the matter with Warcloud?
Boat attendant.
Oh, what a shame. My, we're having tough luck this year, Uncle Peter, aren't we?
You two say that every season. I bet he'll be as good as new in a week.
Oh, no, I'm afraid he won't, Dad.
Have him punch fired and turn him out, Tom.
Yes, sir.
Forget about racing for a while, son. Go on out and get a belly full of grass. Where you headed?
Oh, just riding. You ready, Dad?
All ready.
Remember what I told you. Now keep your back straight and your elbows in like I've taught you. Keep your hands down on your feet in the line with that horse.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Uncle Peter. How's this? Well, what's the matter with him, the featherhead?
Easy, Mr. Jack, easy.
Boy, what a beauty. Who is she?
That's Miss Sally Goodwin, sir. Hold it steady, Mr. Jack.
Looks like one of John Dillon's cars. I recognized his chauffeur.
Dylan? It would be. You wait till Uncle Peter hears about this. Come on, Dad.
Sally Goodwin.
Yes, sir. Ain't she pretty, sir?
Pretty. She's a scenic wonder.
Hey, Dad, Cleo, Zeb, where is everybody? Zeb!
Well, salt me down. Is that you, Mr. Jack, or is you a hand?
Hello, Zeb, you old scoundrel.
How come you here, Mr. Jack? I thought you was in Europe.
That's where I fooled you. Where's Dad?
Out under the trees?
Jack! Company for supper, Dad.
Well, this is quite a surprise, son. But couldn't you let me know that you were coming?
I knew there was something I'd forgotten. The cable. I'm sorry, Dad. I'll give you my word.
Mr. Jack,
Cleo.
is this my baby? This big man?
Cleo, light of my life. You glad to see me?
I'll say I is. Say that again.
Say what?
What you just said.
I said, Cleo, light of my life. You glad to see me?
That's what I thought you said, but what done happened to your voice?
I've been living in England for 8 years. 8 long years. In that time, I could even learn to talk like a Yankee.
Your pa ain't said nothing about you learning no such talk. He said you was learning the banking.
Do I get fried chicken for supper?
You just set at ease with your pa and leave it to me.
Soda?
A dash.
There you are.
Thanks. Well, Dad, here I am. The prodigal returned.
So I see.
And for the first time in 8 years, a free man again. What a feeling.
Free? Were you discharged from the bank?
Discharged? Certainly not. I quit.
I see.
I'm just not cut out for it, and I'm through. I want to breed horses and train them and race them.
Train them? Don't be ridiculous. Training horses takes all a man's time.
That's what I want to give you, Dad.
Listen, Jack. In the past, I've excused your impetuousness on the grounds of youth. But that won't hold today. I have to tell you how thoroughly and emphatically I disapprove of what you've done. To me, you've acted foolishly and ill-advisedly.
I'm sorry, Dad.
Oh, I can understand your love for horses. I love them myself as much as you do. My father and his father before him loved them. That's why they came to Kentucky in the first place. But they were practical, sensible people. They knew that to indulge a hobby, a man must have a sound occupation and a steady income. Banking happened to be their job, and they held on to it, just as it's my job. And as I've hoped it would be your job after me. Now, couldn't you come into the bank here with me? Make one more effort.
All right, Dad. If it means that much to you, sure. I'll give it a trial.
Ah, that's fine, son, fine. You won't regret it, I promise you. Well, now, tell me all about London and your life over there.
Let me go, Cleo. Let me go.
Come on here. Hold up. Else when I get through with you, ain't gonna be nothing left but a little bisty grease spot. Mr. John, I done catch this old weasel coming out the smokehouse with another one of your hickory-cured hams under his coat.
No, sir, Mr. John. You knows I wouldn't steal nothing from you. She lied.
Don't you give me none of your lip. Ain't I done seen you with my own eyes?
That will do. What's the matter with your head?
She done tried to bust me wide open.
I just laid a little piece of killing wood again it.
You remember what I told you the last time we caught you trying to steal that saddle?
That was the time before last. The last time was when he's trying to appropriate one of them Dominica hens.
Yes, sir. That was the last time. Howdy, Mr. Jack. You sure is changed. But old Ben, he just the same. In trouble again.
Not again, you old thief. Still.
I want you to be off this place before sundown. And stay off. You understand?
Yes, sir. Old Ben go, if the boss man said to.
Go on, then. Get moving. Go on. Go on.
I've put up with him for years because he was here during my father's time. But now that we've made an issue of it, I suppose he'll really have to go. Here, go and pay him off.
Never mind, Dad. I'll take care of it.
Now, give off. For all my friends.
I'm going to forsook you if I catch you around here again.
Oh, Ben. Come here a minute. It's probably more than you're worth in a year, but here.
Thank you, boss man. Look like I got one friend left.
You old sinner, if you don't mend your ways, the devil's going to get you.
I was going to reform, Mr. Jack. I gives you my word. I was fixing to get baptized again next Saturday.
Oh, hello, Mom. I brought you some things to read.
Oh, so much. I'll never get through all that.
Well, I'll read them to you. That is, Susie, May, and I together will.
I sure can read like the devil, Miss Sally.
Oh, I'll bet you can.
Susie May.
How are you, darling? How do you feel?
Much better.
I'm so glad. I feel awfully mean leaving you alone so much.
But I can hear you. I heard you out there this morning.
I was just helping Uncle Peter.
Yes, I know what you were doing. Schooling colts at the barrier. And, oh, darling, it's so dangerous.
Oh, but it's so much fun, Mom. And besides, he sort of depends on me, much more so than he does on the boys. And, darling, I just can't refuse him.
No, of course not. But you will be careful, won't you?
Oh, darling, careful. I'll just hang on for dear life.
You.
Miss Sally?
Yes?
Miss Lucy Pemberton's on the telephone.
All right, thanks, Magnolia. I'll be back to see you right after lunch.
Zeke, get me some soup, grits, and gravy, and a pork chop.
Doctor said for you to stay off the pork.
Pork chops, I said, 2 of them. No doctor's going to run my stomach.
Yes, sir, Mr. Peter. Going to get both 2 of them. Yes, sir.
Hello, Uncle Peter. Nice day.
What's this I hear about having to wait for that new stable I ordered?
Well, I'm afraid we'll have to put that off till next spring.
Put off, put off. That's all I ever hear around here is put off.
Well, we can't afford it right now.
No, but we can afford to be gambling in cotton and such.
Buying cotton at the present prices is not gambling, Uncle Peter. Why, it'd be criminal not to take advantage of a market like this. People of the South aren't going to keep on growing cotton and giving it away. Prices are bound to jump. Then we'll be on Easy Street again.
Easy Street? There ain't but one house on Easy Street. The poorhouse.
What's this about the poorhouse?
Oh, nothing. Uncle Peter's just making some plans for our old age.
Oh, darling, I wouldn't worry about that if I were you.
There you go. Hotter than the hinges of... Why, I never saw such a place. You wait an hour for soup, and then you gotta wait another hour till you can get it down.
You always talking about your wind. Blow on it.
Huh. Sally, you still planning on going into town with me this afternoon?
Oh, I'm sorry, Dad. I forgot. But I promised Lucy Pemberton I'd play tennis. And guess with whom? Jack Dillon.
Who did you say?
Why, nobody, Uncle Peter. I just said that Lucy Pemberton called and she thought maybe...
Don't you lie to me. You said Jack Dillon.
That must be John Dillon's boy. He hasn't been around here since he was a little shaver.
It's a pity he came back. You don't go a step.
But I promised Lucy.
I don't care who you promised to. Dillons are a lot of cold-hearted scoundrels, and you let them alone.
You won't have no dealings with such trash. Sit down and eat your lunch before it gets cold.
The Dillons.
Uncle Peter.
Don't come around me if you're going to trail with the Dillons.
Dear, now look what I've done. Spoiled his lunch. But I can't see what harm there is in just meeting the Dillon boy.
Well, of course, you can do as you please. But after all, we've never had anything to do with that family, and I fail to see any reason for starting now.
Excuse me, folks, but could you give old Ben a little snack?
Who are you?
Just old Ben, sir.
Well, where'd you come from, old man? And what you doing here?
I was from Thistle Ridge, ma'am.
Thistle Ridge? You mean you work for the Dillons?
I did work for him, yes, sir.
Well, we ain't feeding no Dillon help around here. Get on out. Get out.
How's it going?
Get out.
How's it going? Looks like the good ones treat old man as mean as the Dillons.
How's that? What you say?
Well, sir, I works for the Dillons going on 50 years. Then, yeah, lately, old rheumatism come along and catch me. I ain't so spry as I was. Right away, the Dillons ain't got no use for me no more. They turns me loose.
Now you know what I've been talking about.
You mean to say the Dillons turned you out after you've been there for 50 years?
Yes'm, and that ain't all. They bust me over the head with a stick of kindling wood before they told me to get off the place and stay off.
That's the Dillons for you. Trash. Just trash.
Give me the dinner, Loretta.
Yes, sir.
Thank you kindly, sir.
Sit down here, old man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can you take care of horses?
Yes, sir. I was a right good hand with a horse.
When you get through eating, go out to the stables and tell Mr. Mellish I said to put you to work.
Thank you, sir.
Georgetown, 126, please. Hello, Lucy? Look, I'm terribly sorry, but I just found out that I can't possibly come over this afternoon. No, I'll tell you about it later.
But, Sally, the game's all arranged.
Here, let me talk to her, Lucy.
Give me that. Let me tell her. Now listen to me, Lucy. You tell that young puppy that my niece would rather meet a polecat than any Dillon that ever lived.
My grandma, how your voice has changed.
That's telling him, huh, Sally?
That's telling him, Uncle Pete.
God damn Dillons.
Any winners for me today, Mr. Goodman?
Sure. Put your money on Cotton. Make you a millionaire.
Cotton? Oh, yes. And a very fine horse, too. Say, what race is he in?
No, he's not a horse. He's a crop.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, Dillon.
Hello, Goodwin.
Have a drink?
Thank you. Club bourbon.
Yes, sir.
I've been planning on dropping in to see you about a loan on Elm Tree Farm.
You going to add to your stables?
No, I want this money for another investment.
Well, if you'll fill out the usual application forms, I'll take the matter up with my board as soon as possible.
Thank you.
Oh, by the way, my son Jack's anxious to cross your King James blood with some of my tramp-fast mares. I wonder if you'd be willing to accommodate him.
Well, my uncle handles my horses. I'd have to get his consent.
Well, in that case, we'd better just forget the whole thing.
There is one alternative. If I rolled you dice and you won, my uncle couldn't object to the payment of a gambling debt.
Unfortunately, I'm not a crapshooter.
One throw. The choice of any King James horse in my stable against any 2-year-old at Thistle Ridge.
Very well.
Throw.
6 and a 3.
6 and a 5.
I'll give you a note to Bob Slocum, my trainer.
Thank you. And, about that loan.
My board of directors will have to decide that.
How's that, Bob?
Well, if you get any better, I'll be looking for a job training horses someplace else.
Yes, sir. You sure can tape one nice and smooth.
I thought it was pretty good. I was just checking up on myself.
Oh.
Ah, so at last we meet. All right, Duckfoot, I'll take him.
Hey, wait a minute, Jack. That's Goodwin's daughter.
Yes, I know. Elm Tree stabling down there. Come on, boy.
You sure better not let old Mr. Peter catch you fooling around that gal.
Good day, ma'am.
Good day. Good-looking horse you have there. How's he bred?
The tramp out of Tantrum by Storm King, ma'am.
Oh, nice hips and shoulders. Close coupled. Any use?
Oh, just fair. Start looking for a filling station about halfway down the stretch.
Maybe he's short.
Oh, just runs out of gas.
Well, they can't all be stake horses. Say, are you training him?
I'm trying to.
Oh. Well, good day.
I've got some right good horses here for the meet. Wouldn't you like to look them over?
Oh, don't bother. It's all right.
Oh, it's no bother at all. I'd be glad to show them to you.
Well, all right.
Hey, Duckfoot.
Yes, sir.
All right, you can put him up now. He's cooled out.
But Mr. Boss Man, he ain't been nowhere.
Will you do as you're told?
Yes, sir.
Right this way, ma'am. These stable boys, no idea of time at all.
Oh, and utterly lacking in tact. Why, any good swipe would have sworn that horse had been out all day.
I'll speak to him about it so that the next time he...
Yes, I understand. Oh, my. She's a nice-looking filly.
Wonderful.
Oh.
Good legs, nice hips and shoulders, and a beautiful face. She'll beat some good horses before she's through.
By the way, whose string is this?
John Dillon's.
Dillon? Oh.
You sound as if you didn't think much of the Dillons.
I don't. My name happens to be Goodwin, if that means anything to you.
Goodwin. Oh, yes, I believe I did hear something about a feud or something. But I don't put much stock in those things.
Well, maybe not. But if you take my advice, you'll be on the lookout for another job.
Another job? Why?
Well, simply because you can work 50 years for the Dillons, and then they throw you off their place without even a square meal, just because you're old.
The Dillons do that?
Just happened in another case that I know of.
What other case?
Sally!
Yes?
Thought I'd find you messing around the stable somewhere.
Well, you were right, Mr. Goodwin.
That's a nice trick. What's your name?
I don't know. She's one of the Dillon horses.
A Dillon horse?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what are you doing looking out of them?
Well,
Come on, let's get out of here.
Goodbye and thanks.
Well, that leaves for disposal only Thaddeus Goodwin's application for a $50,000 mortgage on Elm Tree Farm. What do you think, gentlemen?
Goodwin's word is all right with me.
Confidentially, I understand that unless Goodwin can get his hands on some cash right away, he's liable to lose Elm Tree.
Give him the money. It's nearly time for the races.
Martin, you're always thinking about the races.
Just a minute, gentlemen. It's my considered opinion that this loan should be denied.
But, Dad, why?
There's already one mortgage against Elm Tree. Besides, this money is not to be used for needed developments on the farm, but to cover Goodwin's speculations in cotton.
But, Dad, we can't sit by and see Elm Tree destroyed. Why, it represents one of the greatest traditions in racing.
That's true, but we can't use our depositors' money for that.
But imagine racing in Kentucky without a Goodwin stable. It's unthinkable.
I've told you before, son, there's no place for sentiment in banking.
Then, Dad, I say let's get out of the banking business.
Goodwin gambled and lost. He'll have to take his medicine.
But so am I a gambler. So are these gentlemen. There isn't a day when they don't have money, real money, on the races. Would you refuse me or them alone on that account?
I think we all understand your point of view, Jack. But we won't take up the board's time by discussing it any further.
All right. But let me get one thing clear. Are we denying this application because Goodwin is a gambler or because his name is Goodwin?
Are you suggesting there's anything personal in my attitude toward this loan?
No, but everybody knows how the Goodwins and the Dillons feel about each other.
Are you through?
I'm sorry, Father, but, well, this means a lot to me. Gentlemen, you were prepared to grant this loan by unanimous vote until my father stopped you. I move that we waive his objections, grant this loan, and save Elm Tree.
This is all very surprising and distressing, and not at all in accordance with our usual procedure. However, the question is, shall we grant the loan?
No. Yes.
That will be all, gentlemen. The meeting's adjourned.
So, Martin, you see you're going out to race this?
Why, yes.
Go along with you if you don't mind.
Ballot here, extra, evening paper, extra.
Hello, Thaddeus.
Evening paper, mister?
What happened?
Yeah, we're just selling him a newspaper when he keels over like this.
I was about to send for you. Sit down.
I'll stand.
I want to make one thing clear. Both as your father and as president of this bank, I expect proper respect from you. I don't have to remind you that your conduct before the board was most offensive.
I'm sorry if I hurt you. But unfortunately, I meant every word I said.
You still think I refused Goodwin that money because I dislike him?
All I know is that you won't have to worry about lending Goodwin anything now. You won't need it. He's dead.
Dead?
Yes, out there on the sidewalk. And just because we wouldn't let him have a few dollars to save a place like Elmtree that's meant more to Kentucky than the Dillons or this bank ever have or ever could mean.
Stop acting like a schoolboy. Is it my fault if Goodwin threw his money away and then cracked up?
Of course not. You had your duty to think of, just as your grandfather had his duty to think of when he shot and killed his Goodwin.
That'll do from you.
I came home thinking this feud business was just a gag. Something you read about in the funny papers. It seems it isn't so funny after all.
I think you'd better go now, before I forget that you're my son.
Perhaps I'd better try and forget it myself.
$1950. Do I hear 2,000?
1975.
Thank you, sir. 1975. Who'll make it 2,000? Look at him, gentlemen. One of the finest bred young stallions in Kentucky. 8 years old. You'll be seeing his first colts on the tracks next spring. 1975 I have, gentlemen. Do I hear 2,000? 1975 once. 1975 twice. Sold, Ed Danders. And he never bought a better one. Now, gentlemen, number 6 in your catalog, Lady Grace.
Never thought I'd live to see this day.
Get on away from me, Tom. Hard enough to go through a thing like this without having to stand here and go on back to the stables if you want to make a blubbering fool of yourself.
There she is, gentlemen, Lady Grace by King's Man. You all know her. Won the Latonia in,
1920. Beat Mazurka 2-length eased up.
Thank you, sir. All right. Who'll make me an offer on this grand old mare?
$50.
$50 I bid. Who'll make it 60? $50 once, $50 twice. Sold to the gentleman for $50.
Don't worry about her, Peter. She'll be turned out to grass, same as if she were here at Elmtree.
Thanks, Cal.
Number 7, gentlemen, in your catalogs. Number 7.
Howdy, Miss Boss Man.
What the devil are you doing here?
Just living from hand to mouth, boss, trying to hold body and soul together.
Now, listen to me. You don't know me. You never saw me in your life. You understand?
Yes, sir. Old Ben ain't seen nothing, he ain't hear nothing, and he don't know nothing.
All right, remember that.
Mr. Boss Man, if you aim to buy some of the stock, there's a colt here that's diseased with speed. Name's Bessie's boy. Miss Sally owns him personal. There he is, over yonder.
Boy, what a horse. He's a grand-looking animal. Where's Miss Sally now?
She's up to the house getting the furniture ready to go like the rest.
Here. Now, remember what I told you.
Yes, sir. Look like the Lord done come around to my side at last.
Number 53, one mahogany dining room chair. Who's that?
It's my great-grandfather. And he's not for sale.
I'm sure glad to hear that. Old pictures don't hardly bring a thing.
What's this?
Number 127, an antique mahogany table. Pedestal base by...
Fife. Duncan Fife.
Okay, make her what she said.
Here you are, Mom. Oh. See the lovely luncheon Lily sent you? And I want you to promise me to eat every bit of it.
Sally, I've heard the strangest sounds all morning. Footsteps and queer noises.
Well, dear, I told you we were house cleaning. Oh, smell that. Doesn't it smell good? You will try to eat something, won't you?
Yes, dear, I'll try.
Oh. And your medicine. You won't forget to take it now, will you?
No, I won't forget.
I'll come back later and read to you.
All right, darling.
She's upstairs with her mother.
What is it, Lily?
Miss Sally, this young man here wants to talk to you.
All right.
Remember me, Miss Goodwin?
Yes, I remember you. You wanted to see me?
Yes, I've been looking at your badges, boy, and I wondered if you'd like to...
I'm sorry, he's not for sale.
Oh. Are you going to race him yourself?
Perhaps. Why?
Nothing. Only he'll have to be trained, won't he?
Now, you listen to me. If Mr. Dillon sent you here, you can tell him for me that it's none of his business what our plans are. Good day.
Wait a minute. This hasn't anything to do with Mr. Dillon. I'm not with him any longer.
You're not?
No. We couldn't get on, so I left.
Well, good for you. I knew you'd find him out sooner or later.
Excuse me, Miss Sally, but I'll get your mom's tray while you're sparking.
All right, Susie May, you do that. That'll be very nice of you. So you like my colt, huh?
I certainly do.
Uncle Peter thinks he's the finest horse we've ever had. And even if we do lose all the others, he might do it for us.
I'm sure of it. And that's why I came to ask you to let me train him.
Let you train him?
That's what I'd like to do.
Well, that's very nice of you, of course, but we can't afford a trainer right now, and besides...
But I wouldn't want any pay. I'd do it on a no-win, no-charge basis.
Oh, no, I'm afraid we couldn't do that.
It'd really be doing me a great favor, Miss Goodwin. You see, I'm just starting in on my own. And you know how hard it is for a beginner to get a reputation.
Well, yes, of course, but
One colt like that would put me in the big money.
Well, I'll speak with my uncle about it.
You will?
Yes. Then I'll let you know.
Thank you, ma'am.
Goodbye.
Oh, Miss Goodwin.
Yes?
I don't know how to say it, but... Well, I'd like you to know how terrible I feel about everything. Well, Elm Tree and the horses and, well, everything.
Thank you. Hello! Oh, Lois, the wires must be down. Listen, you stay with Mother and I'll go for the doctor.
Boy, use the car.
I can't. A tree fell on it and it's wrecked.
All right, but it's 4 miles on a cement road and a hard plank will break them down sure.
I can't help it. Let go, Uncle Peter.
You're not going to ruin the best colt we ever raised and the only horse we got left.
I'm sorry, Uncle Peter, but I've got to. Let go.
Charlie, baby, you can't do it. Don't let him out of the canter.
Well, I've spoken to everybody about you, and you'll all find good places. You'll be just as happy as you ever were.
We ain't never going to find nobody like you and Miss Grace. Not never.
Oh, yes, you will, Magnolia. And by the way, that reminds me. You stop being so uppity with Sam. You go ahead and marry him, as I told you.
Yes,
And just remember, if there's anything you ever need, that we love you. Lily.
Don't you cry, honey child. Old Lily's gonna take good care of you and that old snapping turtle. Oh, Lily.
I had to come, Uncle Peter. Just to look goodbye. Oh, Uncle Peter, I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
I got a gal and her name is Sal, and I know her heart is mine.
Hey! Listen, you. If you don't hurry up and shell them peas, they're going to sprout.
Give me time. Give me time.
Sing.
Always in a hurry, that woman. Mr. Peter say hurry. Old Lily say run. I got me a notion not to do now one.
Sally! Sally!
Hi, Mr. Boss Man.
Say, what is this? Are you still here?
Yes, sir. Old Ben's still holding on, but just barely. It won't be long now.
What's the matter? They found you out?
No, sir. Seems like the groceries is getting mighty low. I ain't hardly dirtied the plate this week.
You're the biggest liar in 40 states. But here, and listen, keep your mouth shut about me, you understand?
Yes, sir. Us Dillons ain't telling the good ones nothing.
I hope not. Where's Miss Sally?
Down to the pasture with Mr. Peter.
Hello there.
Hello.
May I come in?
Yes, surely. Uncle Peter, this is Mr. Bossman. You know, the young man I spoke to you about who wanted to train Bessie's boy.
You or nobody else will ever train him now. He hasn't got a sound leg on him.
Good Lord, what happened?
He ran 4 miles in 8 minutes on a concrete road. That's what happened.
Oh, but I had to go for the doctor for my mother.
Oh. I'm sorry to hear about your mother, Miss Goodwin.
Well, thanks for saying so. So, you see, I'm afraid we'll have to decline your offer. Unless, of course, we could start over with one of the Dillon horses.
Now, don't start that nonsense again.
Well, you see, Mr. Bossman, among my father's papers, there was a note signed by Mr. Dillon, giving him the choice of any 2-year-old at Thistle Ridge.
Your father never spoke to John Dillon in his life. He just nodded when they met.
Would you mind if I took a look at that note?
Now, Tall, I've got it right here. Wait a minute. Yes, here it is. We've been arguing about that all morning.
Don't bother to read it, young man. Dillon wouldn't give away a yard dog.
That's Mr. Dillon's handwriting, all right.
It is? How do you know?
Why, he used to train for the Dillons. But he couldn't stand them, so he quit.
Must have been hard up for a job.
I'm sure it's genuine. I think you ought to go and find out about it.
Well, so do I. But the note mentions Father, and I'm only his heir. And Uncle Peter says that'll let Mr. Dillon slide out of it.
Well, surely you don't think that John Dillon would quibble over an obligation.
Listen, even if the note happens to be good, I'll bet my Sunday shirt that snake will slide away.
You mean we're really going to go after it, then?
Yes, I reckon so.
Oh, goody.
Swell. Listen, they've got a 2-year-old over
Hold
there.
on, son. I'll do my own picking. I wouldn't even take advantage of a Dillon. Well, what do you stand there with your mouth open? Let's go and get it over with.
Yes, sir, just as soon as I get my jacket. And listen, I'll meet you in the fort.
I'll be here when you come back, if you don't mind.
No, I don't mind, not at all. See you later.
I didn't mean to be short with you, son, but don't worry. If there's a good colt at Thistle Ridge, I'm likely to find him.
What have you got there?
Mr. Jack done sent for the rest of his things.
Well, don't stand there with it. Get it out of here.
He's still mighty soft about that boy.
They's both mighty high-headed. The Bible say pride goeth before a fall.
Quit preaching, Reverend, and tote that trunk.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Dillon. I'm Sally Goodwin.
How do you do, Miss Goodwin?
Is this your handwriting?
Why, yes, of course. I'm sorry, it slipped my mind.
I guess you know this girl Stat Goodwin's only heir.
Yes, I know.
Well, is any reason why she shouldn't pick her colt?
None whatever. I'll telephone the stable. Won't you come in?
We're doing all right where we are.
You shouldn't act like that. He was being very polite.
When a Dillon gets polite, lock the hen house and reach for a pitchfork.
Slocum, Miss Goodwin and her uncle will be out there in a minute. Let them pick out any 2-year-old they want. And lend them a truck to take it away in.
But, Mr. Dillon, what if they pick Postman?
If they do, they get him. You understand?
Yes, sir. Hey, Bill, come here. Listen, Bill, go on down the track. When Postman's cooled out, put him in the track shed and keep him there.
Track shed?
Yeah, the old man's lost his mind, letting the Goodwins pick any colt they like. And I don't want Postman here.
I get it.
Hey, Jimmy. Yes, sir. This little trick looks like he might run someday.
Yes, sir.
Go on, take him down, put him in the track shed.
Yes, sir.
Make it snappy. Howdy, Mr. Goodwin. Afternoon, Miss Goodwin.
How do you do?
I'm Bob Slocum.
Yeah. We want to look at your 2-year-olds.
Yes, Mr. Dillon just phoned me. Well, there they are. Eddie, bring out and over here. Hold 'em, boys. Oh, we got some great stock this year. Great stock. Best I've seen for a long time. Now, there's as fine a colt as ever stood on 4 legs.
Yeah. He'll be on 3 legs when that curb begins to talk to him.
Why, shucks, you can't call a little fullness in the tendon a curb. Die of old age and never know he's got it.
He'll die of old age before we own him.
Here comes Postman.
What do you do?
Half and 48.
Half and 48? Running forward, I mean. Postman working 48, going to the races, going to the races. Postman working 48, going to the races now. Postman working 48, going to the races, going to the races. Postman working 48, going to the races now. Postman working 48, going to the races, going to the races. Postman working 48.
He'll make you a nice, useful colt, Miss Goodwin.
Well, could you put a boy on him and let us see him move?
Don't bother moving that one.
Well, why not? He's a beauty.
Yeah, a horse race is no beauty contest.
Okay.
Okay, Scotty, take him away. He's hard to please.
That's right.
Are these all you got?
Yes, you've seen all of them.
Postman working 48, going to the races now. Postman working 48, going to the races now. Postman working 48, going to the races, going to the races. Postman working 48, going to the races now. Postman working 48, going to the races, going to the races. Postman working 48,
going to the races now.
Postman working 48.
Where's he at? Where's he at?
Over to the track shed, over to the track shed.
Over to the track shed now.
Well, Brother Slocum, I reckon we'll just ramble over to the track shed, if you don't mind. What might his name be if it's not asking too much?
Postman.
He'll be by postillion. Worked a half and 48, huh? Didn't he?
Yes, sir.
Peel him.
Oh, Uncle Peter, just look at him. Did you ever in your life see anything as beautiful?
Can't fault him with a microscope.
I'll say you can't. Oh, he's a wonderful coat. Is he as good as he looks, Mr. Slocum?
Must be pretty good or he wouldn't have been hit out. Yes, sirree. Postman's a mighty good coat, and I'd be proud to own him. But you know, I've sort of taken a fancy to my little black friend here. Slocum, put this one in the truck.
Yes, sir, right away. Bill, get him out of here quick.
Yes, sir.
No, wait a minute. But you said you liked Postman.
That's right. I like him plenty. He'd be a hard horse to beat. Put this one in the truck like I told you.
Yes, sir, right away. Bill?
Oh, but Uncle Peter, just look at him. And you heard a half and 48.
Good. I even sung it, but I'm taking this one.
Oh, he's a runt. He's nothing compared with Postman.
Listen, girl. I can count the great horses I ever saw on the fingers of one hand. And every one of them had a look in his eye, like an eagle. You can't beat a horse with that look. You just can't beat him. And this colt's got it. The look of eagles.
I'm sorry, Uncle Peter. But it's my horse and my choice. I choose Postman. All right, Mr. Slocum, put him in the truck.
It's kind of late in the day for you to go back on me, Sally, baby.
We'll take the black one. This is our choice, Mr. Slocum.
Well, that's fine, Miss Goodwin.
Good day.
What's this you've got? I hoped you'd take Postman.
Yeah, well, I wanted to, but Uncle Peter liked that one. And after all, he is the best judge of horses in Kentucky.
Slocum didn't think so. He's got a notion I'm in my second childhood.
I never heard about this one.
You will if he stays sound. Come on now, get him out of there and get that Dillon truck off this property.
You call this a racehorse? He ain't much bigger than a good-sized flea.
Yeah, be as hard to catch as a flea someday.
You know, we're lucky to have either him or Postman after the trick Mr. Dillon tried to pull.
Trick?
Certainly. While we were on our way down to the stables, he sent word to his trainer to hide the two best colts they had in the place. Well, gosh, if it hadn't been for Uncle Peter, we'd have never have seen them.
Mr. Dillon did that?
Sure, I told you. He'd steal the hinges off a barn door.
I just can't believe it.
You may have worked for the Dillons, young man, but you didn't learn much about them.
Yeah. Whoa.
Well, here he is. You still want to train him?
Yes, of course, if I may.
He's yours.
Well, when you two get through holding hands, maybe we can find a name for him.
Well, of course, he's got to have a name, doesn't he?
Most race horses do.
Well, he belongs to real Kentuckians now. Call him Bluegrass. Might make him grow.
Bluegrass, of course. That's it.
Don't know about his blood, Sally, but he looks to me like good stock for breeding.
Excuse me, boss.
Well, go on, say it. He's no good.
No, sir, boss. I ain't saying nothing. Except I sure do hate to see a fine trainer like you messing around week after week with a goat like that.
Oh, he's young yet. Bluegrass needs to grow.
Yes, sir. That's the truth. Only it seems like Mr. Peter might have picked Postman. Now, there's a sure enough horse.
Father thought a lot of him, didn't he?
He sure did. But Mr. Peter looks like the older he gets, the less he knows about a horse. Any child could see the difference between Bluegrass and Postman. I reckon Mr. Peter don't see so good no more. Or else he's so contrary, he plumb don't care.
That'll do about Mr. Peter.
Law, I ain't saying nothing against Mr. Peter. He's the finest friend old Ben's got, excepting you. I'm just saying, ain't it a pity?
Oh, hello.
Hello, Sally. I called you earlier, but Lily said you were in town.
Yes, I was. I'm doing the marketing now. I am a very domestic young woman, you know.
So they tell me.
Should we sit down here?
All right, let's.
Just smell that honeysuckle. Isn't it wonderful?
It's lovely.
Well, you're certainly not the most cheerful person I've ever seen. Is anything wrong?
They've entered Postman in the Crescent City Handicap.
Yes?
They seem to have great hopes for him.
Yes, I know.
Bluegrass hasn't been working out as well as I expected.
Oh, Uncle Peter says we have to give him time. And after all, you've only had him a few weeks, you know.
I know, Sally. But if he doesn't come through, you won't think any the less of me for it, will you?
Oh, don't be silly. Well, how could I possibly blame you?
That's swell of you.
Say, by the way, are you doing anything Saturday night?
Nothing important.
Good. Then I'll accept Lucy Pemberton's invitation. That is, if you will take me. She's giving a supper dance at the country club.
Lucy Pemberton?
Uh-huh. You know her?
No, I don't. Only I just remembered I can't Saturday night.
But you just said you had nothing better to do.
I know. Well, there's a friend, as a matter of fact, two friends of mine are coming to town, and I promised I'd meet them, and...
That's all right. I'll tell Lucy some other time, huh?
Sally, there's something I want to tell you. Only I don't quite know how to say it.
Do you have to say it?
Yes, I do.
Well, you know, I've always heard when you come to a fence and you don't know how to take it, you just sit back, close your eyes, and go to it. Darling. Oh, darling.
Sally, what I wanted to say...
Excuse me, folks.
Yes, Ben, what is it?
Excuse me, ma'am, but I don't want to take no chances on scaring you.
Scaring who?
I was fixing to catch me a chicken thief, red-handed. There might be some shooting.
Chicken thief, here?
Yes'm, down at the barn. And there's one thing I can't stand. It's a chicken thief.
Well, don't stand there talking about it all night. If someone's stealing chickens, go get them.
Yes'm. I was heading for my shotgun right now.
If he ever kills a chicken thief around here, he'll be committing suicide.
Sally!
Yes? Oh, all right, Uncle Peter, I'm coming.
I can't wait all night.
All right, all right. Darling, I'm terribly sorry, but I've got to go up and finish reading him a book about, how the South really won the war. If I don't, he'll have a fit. Good night, darling. I'll see you tomorrow.
Morning, Lily. Good morning, Miss Sally.
Good morning.
Hotter than the hinges of...
Postman wins Crescent City Derby eased up.
Good call. They said I liked him.
Yes. Dillon's great horse makes show of his field, taking New Orleans Classic for his 5th straight win.
Lily!
Yes, sir?
Bring me an apple.
Postman's race today is expected to make him an odds-on favorite for the Kentucky Derby.
Look out, you spill my tea.
Oh, honestly, Uncle Peter. If you'd only admit you were wrong.
I was wrong once about a horse. That was back in, let me see, 1889.
1889.
What's your trainer say about your colt?
No, it isn't Jack's fault. It's yours. He's handling the wrong horse.
Here's your apple. I picked you out a nice soft one.
What's that?
Now, you know what that is. That's your remedy.
Why, you take that back where it came from. Get it out of my sight.
Dr. Nelson said you got to take it regular, and there it is.
Dr. Nelson. Dr. Nelson, that's all I ever hear around here. You take it away, and you tell that fool fella that I say I'm going to outlive him and all the rest of his breed. Yeah, and you too.
Miss Sally, I ain't got no time to argue. You see that it takes a full dose.
Yes, all right, Lily.
The wrong horse, eh? That what he thinks?
No, he only says he's bringing Bluegrass along slowly and letting him grow.
Yeah, I do the same thing myself.
You know, the colt that you wouldn't let me take wins 5 straight races while my colt grows.
They get harder every year.
Honestly, you are the most exasperating man I've ever met in my whole life. Oh. You're a darling.
I'd be better off with a few more teeth. But I wonder what that scallywag's doing here this time of day.
Sally, Mr. Peter.
Hello.
I just came from the track. Look.
137.
Sure, Bluegrass, 137.
How far? 7 furlongs?
A full mile from wire to wire.
A mile? He couldn't.
But he did.
Looks like he's been doing something besides grow.
Oh, Uncle Peter, you're marvelous. How did you know?
Yeah, hug him. He's the man who did it.
You're marvelous, too.
Guess he's about ready for a prep race for the Derby, son. You better enter him.
I already have. He starts Thursday.
The Derby with Postman and all those Eastern colts? Oh, don't be silly.
I don't think I am. And I just want to say, sir, that you know more about horses than any 10 men I ever knew.
Second race at Keyland. Here's the rundown.
Hi, Mr. Goodwin.
Blunderbuss, 7. Blunderbuss, 7. Ragdoll, 10. Ragdoll, 10. Bellringer, 3. Bellringer, 3. Palisade, 6 to 5. Palisade, 6 to 5. Hurry on, 10. Hurry on, 10. Bluegrass, 20. Bluegrass, 20. Why, he's 20 to 1.
Yes, I know.
Well, give me your money.
All right, how much?
Much as you've got.
Oh, now, wait a minute. This is his first start.
Why, that colt could fall down and roll home faster than those goats. Give it here.
Yeah, but suppose Jack isn't trying with him today.
Goodwin, horses are always trying. He knows that.
Well, I think I'll phone him and see what he has to say about it.
Well, go ahead.
And listen, no betting before I get back.
Well, hurry up.
All right.
$100 on Bluegrass.
How do you want it, to show?
To show, not any. On the nose.
Okay, Grandpa. 100 to win on Bluegrass. This thing staggers home, you'll own the joint.
And the first thing I'll do is fire you.
Hello, Keeneland? Well, this is Sally Goodwin speaking, formerly of Elm Tree Farm. I'd like to speak with my trainer, please.
Sorry, Miss Goodwin, we're not allowed to send for a trainer just before a race. Could I have a message delivered?
No, I want to speak with Mr. Bossman personally. It's very important.
Who did you say? Bossman. Say, what's the idea telling me you're Sally Goodwin? I'm busy. And if you think you're going to get any tips from your boyfriend through me, you better get his name right.
But I tell you, I am Sally Goodwin, and my trainer is Jack Bossman.
Listen, lady, whoever you are, there's no Jack Bossman at this track. John C. Dillon, Jr. is training Bluegrass, and if he's been handing you a line of baloney under a phony name, don't come to me. Get a lawyer.
Palisades is going to the front. Dockman is second. Airplane third. Hurry on fourth. Bell ringer fifth, and high voltage.
Uncle Peter, let's get out of here.
No. Wait a minute.
At the quarter, it's Palisades in front by 3 lengths. Dockman is second, a length and a half. Airplane is third, and Hurry On is fourth.
Wait a while. He'll be heard from.
At the half-mile post, it's Palisades in front of the rail by 2 lengths. Airplane is second. Hurry On is third, and high voltage is moving into contention.
Don't worry, he's just laying off the pace.
At the 3/4, it's Palisades in front and going well in hand. Airplane is second, a length and a half. High voltage is third. Dockman is fourth, and Bubble Up.
Hey, Grandpa, what's happened to your long shot? They don't pay off at the 3/4. That's right.
Into the stretch. It's Palisades in front by 2 lengths. Airplane is second, on the rail by length. High voltage is third. Dockman is fourth, and here comes Bluegrass on the outside.
Yahoo! Get the gallop! Come on, baby! He gets that in the run.
They're coming down to the line of finish. It's Palisades and Bluegrass. Palisades and Bluegrass. It's going to be a driving finish. They're head and head. Now they're coming across the line of finish, and Palisades wins it by a nose. Bluegrass is second. Airplane is third.
That race was crooked! I tell you, it was crooked!
Uncle Peter!
It was crooked! Bluegrass could have won it, he please!
I told you to bet him to show, Grandpa.
I tell you, it was crooked! He could have won it!
Oh, it doesn't make any difference. Come on, let's get out of here.
Foul claimed at Keeneland. Official results in 5 minutes.
There, I told you so!
Well, what have you to say?
I had orders to hand ride Bluegrass, but this jock hit him when I made my move to go by.
How about that?
I never touched his mount.
Will you gentlemen please take a look at my horse?
Certainly, Mr. Dillon.
Could my boy have done that?
He could not.
Thank you, gentlemen. All right, take him away.
We disqualify your mount, fine you $200, and set you down for the rest of this meet.
In the second race at Keeneland, Palisades has been disqualified, and Bluegrass is the winner.
I knew it! Never fooled me for a minute! If you don't mind, I'll take $2,100.
I guess that's right. How did you get wise to that race?
I'm not wise, young man. I'm a slow learner. It took me 70 years to know about that race.
Come on, dear, let's go.
I'm glad I met you. Open that door, son. Thank you, sir. It's been a pleasure. I'll call again. Mr. Jack.
Where's Bluegrass?
He ain't here no more. He gone.
Gone?
Yes, sir. Miss Sally Goodwin and Mr. Peter took him away. They told me to tell you that ain't no Dillon polecat can train a Goodwin horse.
I see. That was Uncle Peter. What did Miss Sally say?
Miss Sally ain't say much of nothing. Mr. Peter, he do all the talking. Man, he was steaming.
Well, who gets the colt now?
Mr. Peter say he go and train him himself till after the Derby. He say...
Yes, I know, but didn't Miss Sally say anything?
Oh, yes. She say, here's your share of the purse and the winning. And she don't blame you from trying to change your name.
She did?
Yes, sir. She say if she's named Dillon, she changed it herself.
Oh. I see. Well, that's that.
Yes, sir. It looks that way, all right.
May I cut in?
Of course. Thanks, Sally. That was swell.
I had to see you. I've been trying all week.
Not now, please. Some other time.
No, it has to be tonight. Now. I'm sorry you found out the way you did. I wanted to tell you myself.
Well, it doesn't matter. Really, it doesn't.
I started to that night in the garden. Then I decided to wait until after the Derby. Because I hoped that if Bluegrass won, you'd believe that I was only trying to break.
Oh, yes.
Just a minute, if you don't mind.
Of course I mind.
Gee, Sally, you look like $1 million.
Oh, thanks, Bob. Bob, let's get out of here, huh?
Right you are. What? Say, I just cut in on you. Don't you know you can't cut right back?
Sorry, I'm a Yankee. I don't know any better. Let's go outside for a minute.
No, I'd rather not.
At least let's sit down.
No, I'd rather dance, please.
Then we'll stand here while I explain why I didn't tell you who I am.
Pretty obvious, isn't it, Jack? To make sure that we wouldn't beat Postman tomorrow?
You don't really believe that.
What other reason could there be?
I wanted to be with you, to help you. What chance did I have as a Dillon?
Let's dance. People are looking at us.
Listen, Sally. You might as well know this, too. When your father asked for a loan, and my father turned him down, Dad and I had a fight about it. And I haven't seen or spoken to my father since. Doesn't that prove something?
Hiya, Sally. Been looking for you all night. Too bad, pal, but there'll be another one along in a minute.
I'm sorry, but there's something else I have to say to Miss Goodwin, alone.
Please, Jack, not now.
I don't want to make a scene, but this is something you have to know.
Listen, don't use that tone to Miss Goodwin, understand? I don't like it.
I'm sorry, but I don't care what you like.
Now, wait a minute, you two. Look, it'll be all right. I'll be right back. Come on, Jack. Well?
I'm sorry I had to do that, but there's something you have to know about Bluegrass. He's a great colt. He can win tomorrow if you handwrite him all the way.
Uncle Peter will know how to have him ridden.
I know. But be sure to tell him this. Bluegrass sulks if you whip him. Tell him his riding orders must be not to use the whip under any circumstances.
Is that all?
Yes. Except that I love you. I loved you from the beginning. I wanted to tell you so 1,000 times. You must have known that. You do know that. Even if it was a dirty trick, all that lying and pretending to be someone else, at least it let me be near you. And I can't be sorry for that, no matter what happens or what you think. Good night.
Who in thunder's that?
It's me, Lily. Open the door.
Get on away from here. I'm dressing.
Yes, sir, but there's a gentleman here wants to see you.
Gentleman? What kind of a gentleman? What's he want?
It's the policy man, and he says he's got to check up on your insurance.
Insurance? On Derby Day? Ah! Tell him I'm not home.
Now, listen, Uncle Peter, you've got to see him for a minute after he came all the way out here.
What for? My insurance been paid up 20 years. What in thunder's going on now?
Why, nothing, dear, nothing at all. Uncle Peter, this is Mr. Holt.
I'm not buying any more insurance.
Certainly not. This is just a perfunctory examination of one of our best clients.
What kind of an examination?
Well, it's just a routine checkup, dear, you know, for their files. All right, Mr. Holt.
You sure you're not a plain, ordinary doctor and that Sally didn't send for you?
Lie down a moment, please. Now, take a deep breath.
Sally, if this is some of your dad-blamed doings,
Please relax. It'll only be a minute.
Doggone it, I might have known it was one of your tricks. Get on out of here.
Now, don't get excited.
Get on out. No doctor's examining me on Derby Day.
Oh, please, darling, please. I only want to be sure that you're all right with all the excitement and
You
everything.
keep quiet. I'll tend to you later, young lady, and you, too, telling me that pack of lies about insurance checkup. Now, you listen to me, son. If For more than 3/4 of a century, horses have been my life. Nothing else ever mattered very much to me. Just horses. It's not often that a horseman gets the honor and pleasure of seeing his colors in the Kentucky Derby. But today, Elm Tree's colors are riding in the Derby again. And, son, you and all the doctors this side of Kingdom Come couldn't keep me from going to that track.
All right, Uncle Peter. I'll get my things. We better be starting.
Well, anyhow, Mr. Goodwin, it's a great day for racing.
Every day's a great day for racing. Keep me from going to that track. Perfunctory examinations. Bluegrass. God damn it.
Number 3. Isn't he beautiful? Who's he by?
By himself, usually.
Then I'll place a $2 bet on him to show.
Here comes Bluegrass now.
Nice-looking horse.
Yeah, you know they're betting some money on him.
Well, I don't get it. He never started but once.
Kentucky money, I expect. Loyalty to the Goodwins.
Oh, hello, Peter. Miss Goodwin.
Good afternoon.
How are you, Peter? How are you feeling?
Feeling? I'm feeling fine. Why shouldn't I be feeling fine?
Well, you needn't bite my head off.
Too many people around here wondering how I'm feeling. I feel like a winner, that's how.
All right, all right. I'm glad to hear it.
Good day. Well, you shouldn't have acted like that. He was only being nice.
Darn fool, listen to folks talk around here. You'd think I was getting old or something.
Yes, darling, I know.
Hello, Eddie. You all right?
Fine.
Now listen to me, son. I've been running horses in the Derby ever since Aristides took the first one back in '75. And I won my share of them, too. And every time I did was because my boy rode like I told him to.
Yes, sir.
You lay back in about 5th place till you come to the far turn on the way home. Then make your move and keep riding.
Okay.
Hit him a couple of licks to wake him up at the 8th pole and fan him good if it's close. You understand?
Yes, sir.
No, wait a minute. Don't use your whip ever. He's got to be handridden.
What's that?
If you hit him, he sulks.
Sulks? Don't be a fool, girl. You ride like I told you.
No. Oh, I hate to go against you this way. But after all, he's my horse. And Uncle Peter, this race means more to me than anything else in the world.
That Dillon whelp put you up to this.
But he knows Bluegrass.
Yeah. You turn against me to let him pull another dirty Dillon trick.
Oh, he wouldn't. He couldn't do that.
Yeah. If it comes to a close finish, we hand ride and they go to the bat and beat us.
You heard me. Hand ride him. Under no circumstances go to the whip.
Yes, ma'am. If that's the way you want it, don't blame me if it gets me beat.
All right, riders up.
Oh, I'm sorry, but...
Come on, number 1. Good luck, Willie.
Hey, Bob.
Oh, hello, Jack.
Better have a bet on Bluegrass.
Shucks, he won't know which way Postman went.
That's what you think. Listen, that black colt can fly.
On the level?
You'll find out.
If it hadn't have been for a trifling no-count swipe, old Goodman wouldn't have got either one of them.
So it was you who tried to hide him out?
Well, we're just over in the track shed, and I thought...
Where's Dad?
In his box. Wait a minute, Jack. I was only trying to save him 2 of the best colts.
Shut up! You're fired. Come in, Jack. I just realized a minute ago what a fool I've made of myself. I'm sorry.
That's all right, son.
That day at the bank, well, I guess I just lost my head.
Perhaps we've both been too hasty. Let's hope this little separation will help us to be more tolerant and understanding of each other.
Dad.
I've missed you, son. Really missed you.
Well, our big moment is almost here.
Look yonder. So he told you he wasn't speaking to his father, huh? Girl, you've lost us the Derby. Bring that outside horse in here.
Greene is going to the front. Postman is second. Darkman is third. Thundercloud is fourth. Bluegrass is fifth. And Midnight.
Come on, Bluegrass! Come on! I'm sorry, Dad, but I trained him.
Passing the stands for the first time is Evergreen in front by a half a length. Darkman is second. Midnight is third. Postman is fourth. And Thundercloud. Heading into the back stretch, it's Darkman in front by 2 lengths. Evergreen is second by 2 lengths. Thundercloud is third, a length and a half. And Postman is moving up past horses and is now fourth. Bluegrass is fifth and is now making his move on the outside. Nearing the far turn, it's Darkman in front by 3/4 of a length. Evergreen is second, Thundercloud is third. Postman is fourth and is now making his move. Now is Postman third and coming fast. Midnight is fourth and here comes Bluegrass.
Come on, Bluegrass!
Bluegrass is now third and closing round. Now he's second behind Postman.
Go to the whip! Go to the whip! Go to the whip!
Postman and Bluegrass neck and neck. It's Postman and Bluegrass. It's Postman in front again by a head. Bluegrass is second.
Come on, Bluegrass! Come on!
Now Bluegrass is going to the whip.
Don't whip him!
Throw that whip away! Whip away! Throw that whip away! Throw that whip away!
Come on up, boy!
Now they're coming down to the line of finish with Postman in front. Bluegrass is second. It's Postman and Bluegrass. Postman and Bluegrass. Bluegrass is coming in. Now they're neck and neck, head and head, nose to nose.
Bluegrass, come on!
Now they're coming across the line of finish and Bluegrass wins it.
Oh, boy! I'm sorry, Dad, but I can't help it.
What'd I tell you? The greatest horse I ever saw. The look of eagles, that's what he's got. The look of eagles.
Hurry up, Uncle Peter, come on!
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bluegrass, winner of this year's historic Kentucky Derby and one of the greatest 3-year-olds ever to set foot on an American turf, is about to be decorated with a wreath of roses, emblematic of his triumph in this greatest of American turf classics by his owner, Miss Sally Goodwin. And here comes Miss Goodwin now.
Congratulations, Peter.
Look out! Wait, he's fainted.
Step back, folks. Give him a little less.
Well, who is he? It's Peter Goodwin. Got a doctor quick.
Come on.
Sally.
Oh, Jack, we won. I'm so happy I can cry.
Charlie, darling.
Oh,
Hold that, please. Congratulations, Miss Goodwin.
Oh, thank you very much.
Are you all ready, Miss Goodwin? We're on the air.
No, not just yet, please. I'd like to wait till my uncle gets here.
Certainly. I'll make an announcement. Miss Goodwin is unwilling to proceed until she is joined by her uncle, Peter Goodwin. We're waiting for Peter Goodwin to come to the steward stand. Will Mr. Peter Goodwin please hurry to the infield stand? We're waiting for Peter Goodwin to come to... We're sorry that Peter Goodwin cannot come to the stand. The ceremony will continue.
There's very little of importance that anyone can say at a time like this. But I feel that we're burying more than a man. We're burying a phase of American life. In this day of automobiles and aeroplanes and modern conveniences, many of us have forgotten the horse and what he has meant to America. Not so with Peter Goodwin. He loved his horses passionately, with a lifelong devotion. And it was his great privilege, one which all men may envy, to die at the moment of his greatest triumph, with the colors of his beloved elm tree, once more riding to victory in a Kentucky derby. I knew him but slightly, but of him I knew much, and nothing that did not do him honor. Proud, loyal, jealous of his name and heritage, Peter Goodwin was indeed the grand old man of the American turf.